I've worked in SaaS for the better part of a decade, and I've, like a lot of millennials, I dabbled a lot prior to that as well. The earlier part of my career was hyper-focused on more customer support operations. And then as my career evolved and my role grew at my previous company, I expanded my area of expertise to include customer experience responsibilities. So things with life cycle. And the reason that I am actually, yes, quite passionate about customer experience in particular is because I think that there is a real magic in being able to pair real human beings with the solutions that your company is offering. And you can only really do that well and ethically and holistically when you do have a solid grasp of what the customer experience looks like. The difference between the two is that the friction point basically is that's the problem that we want to get rid of, right? The problem that we want to provide a solution for. Whereas the passion point, those are those touch points, those moments in your brand experience that actually compel the customers to take action or to feel a certain way. So they do work in tandem, and it is the ongoing challenge for any company to really present your content to be a balance of the two. As far as how you can identify them, really easy. Just ask your customers the following questions to start. What successes have you seen with our product? Just that one question. Perhaps pair that with a customer satisfaction score, like something out of 1 to 10. So you do have a quantitative baseline, but the qualitative feedback that you will get from asking that simple question, what successes have you seen with our product? That's going to give you those insights about what those passion points were. The most important thing here is to really put everything you can possibly put into your onboarding experience. At my previous company at Meet Edgar, we found that the vast majority of people, if they were going to stay past that first month with us, we have the insights available from their usage, their activation within really that first hour of their time with us. So putting whatever you can towards that is very important, and making sure that whenever you do send out any communication, so any communication outside of within the in-app onboarding experience, so emails, maybe retargeting ads if you want to bring people back into the app, everything relates to a specific action or outcome. Really, these are like mini success points that you want the customer to see and experience to get them from free trial to activated free trial to actually converted. In my personal opinion, I do think that the post-conversion user experience is a more challenging beast to overcome. And the reason why is because as consumers, people are very, very used to the idea that they can just sign up, give something a try, and then discard the product or the service, keeping customers engaged so that they continue to stay with you and they do have long-term retention, and your company sees higher LTV from each customer. That is definitely way more challenging. My biggest tip to overcome these challenges, and there's 1,001 strategies out there, but my biggest sort of broad tip is to, again, make sure you're focusing on your in-app onboarding that very first hour. Whatever you can reasonably expect a customer to experience within that first hour, make sure that it is incredibly valuable and that they are seeing those mini successes that give them a peek into what a really a better future might be for them, or will be for them rather. The way that a B2B company can deliver great CX and create an engaging customer journey is to make sure that you are following along and tracking every action a customer can take, so that as they move along and through your product and experience it, you are making sure that you're delivering content that is timely and relevant to wherever they are in their experience with your product. The absolute most important thing is to make sure that you are measuring your successes and that you do have key metrics that you're keeping an eye on, and two, that you have very specific goals. And there are a lot of other nuances to that when it comes to actually applying it, but making sure that you have those objectives set and that you have measurable metrics in place and that you are accountable for actually going back and analyzing them. That is the best way to make sure that you maintain the level of performance that you are looking for and that your customers deserve. There are a lot of metrics that you can measure when you're looking at SaaS growth, but the three that I would recommend focusing on are your number of leads that you're getting each month, so everyone who shows interest in the product but maybe hasn't signed up yet, and then your trial to paid conversion rate, or if you don't have trial to paid, just your sign up conversion rate. And then finally, your retention metric. So what does your churn look like? Are you actively keeping more customers on than you're losing each month? In my experience, the best way to balance experimentation with tangible results is to make sure that you're doing the upfront work of defining your foundation, where you're starting from, and setting reasonable expectations to begin with. And the best way to approach that, I think, is to just be honest when you're setting out to try something new. Like, is this something that you think will get X results? And if so, why? I really love Grammarly. I think that Grammarly is incredibly powerful, and it's one of the most useful apps I've ever used. I think that anybody who's writing copy, writing emails, writing anything at all, so most people who work on the internet would benefit from using Grammarly, free, premium, whatever. The best book that I've read in the past year is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think that if you are in any way like me, a person who is able to be a lot more productive with at least a little bit of planning in their life, this is a really great book to dig into. And even if you're already a master of habits, I think that it's really interesting reading to understand how different people respond to different strategies for being more productive. So it's great for your own personal development, and it's also great for professional development. Again, not just for yourself, but in helping you understand how to help your peers or your team members do their best work and build strong productivity habits. My advice for fellow women in SaaS is to stay curious and don't dampen your curiosity. If you ever feel like you have to not ask a question, that's your signal to go ahead and ask the question.